Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through the Hobart Hurricanes season preview, going through all the players and how I think they're going to stack up. This is probably going to be a shorter video or more focused on the back end of the tournament, given that I believe Hobart only have the one, as you can see, when we look at it, you can see by their break evens, they've only got one game in round one, so they're not really going to be picked, especially on field. So you got to take that into account. But a lot of these guys, like stashing a Ben McDermott off field because they play doubles later on in the tournament, will be crucial. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Paddy Dooley is actually the most expensive Hobart player, and he's got a break even of 64, but I don't think he's going to be that useful, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be one like James Faulkner did 3 or 4 years, or probably 5 or 6 years ago now, and Andrew Tye still is effective, but he sort of definitely, Andrew Tye had is a lot less effective with his slower balls and stuff like that comparatively to when he was 3 or 4 years ago. So I think something like Paddy Dooley, that's a little bit unique in the way he bowls. He sort of will get found out, and I think we did sort of see that a little bit come the end of the season. I think there was a little bit of a finding out period. So against the Sixers, he just ran riot because the Sixers just couldn't play spin that year, that game that he played against them. But if you look here, look at their schedule coming up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They play doubles at 7. So I think just having someone like a McDermott on the bench and just sort of sub him in and play him round 2, round 3, round 4 when he sort of picks up into form will be a lot better. I don't think you can really go for the more expensive guys yet, because you'll just be you'll be trading out the doubles and triple, like the Brisbane guys, and getting in the Adelaide guys and trading the Adelaide guys out for teams that play in round 3 and round 4. I do need to, once I get through the union week and a bit that I have, I'll be sorting out a sort of a spreadsheet that better helps to understand when teams play doubles, etc., and how that all links up. But I think you'll find that you won't really be trading in any Hobart guys until round 7 when they have this double. And I just don't think Paddy Dooley is going to be as much value as he was last year, because he's priced at 200k. I'd much rather Sean Abbott, who's better in the field, honestly will take just as many wickets. He's shown he's got the history behind him rather than Paddy Dooley having one season. Sixers have the double anyway, and then also I'd rather Sean Abbott with the bat than Paddy Dooley, and Sean Abbott is Sean Abbott or Tom Curran. They're both one of them's 197 and I believe one of them's 180, and they're both just better value than Paddy Dooley, who you're focusing specifically on his dot balls and his wickets. I mean, if we look at the fantasy stats here, you'll see he did have 84 dot balls in the 13 games that he played, I believe, 13 take away, so there was 13, and then he didn't play in 2 of them. So he played, I believe, 10 games. He got 84 dot balls, so that's 8.4 dot balls a game. That's pretty good. And then the economy rate bonus of 115 is absolutely huge. So you are preying on that economy rate bonus and that dot ball bonus, and he did take 19 wickets in the end. So you are pretty much exclusively, obviously, focusing on that. And he doesn't provide much in the field, unlike an Abbott, who we'll get to in the coming days, who really does actually provide a lot in the field. So I would be looking at the likes of non-Hobart guys just because of their fixture, but then also steering away from Paddy Dooley in itself just because of other value guys that are much lower that have been previously. I mean, I'm pretty sure Sean Abbott was previously like 240, 250k, and Paddy Dooley is at a top out season at 200k, so just shows the difference there. Next up, we have Tim David, and I don't expect him really to be bowling that much. I mean, he's sort of like that of Matt Renshaw, but a little bit lower down the order. And I mean, if we look at his fantasy stats from last year, you'll see 1 wicket, 7 catches, and 2 run-outs, I believe. So he does provide a little bit in the field and does get that huge strike rate bonus. You are relying on him basically getting, as you can see here, you can see this run here that he had, like a 25 off about 10 rocks gets you, 50 odd points basically. So something like that will basically get you the, is it 20? I need to search up again. I did did this up last time, but BBL SuperCoach scoring. I thought it was, they might have rearranged the scoring. No, it does look like there is a that it is 25 as the top as the top strike rate bonus. I thought it was 20, to be honest with you, but it's must have yeah, so like previously it had, as I just see here, an article from a couple of years ago, it had bonuses for every 6 was 2 points and a boundary was 1. So you did have that but obviously not anymore. You don't have that. But if we just go through here and go, I might have to, let's look, is there any sort of, let's look at the help page. This usually can help you guys out. Play rankings, profile enhance. No, don't need that. Let's look at this. Game overview, team added point scoring. This should help. Strike rate bonus. So it does have the 25 there, the runs, and then no, it doesn't have the boundaries bonus that we were talking about. But 25 is the top strike rate bonus, and that's why you see that is what we're targeting with, if you do try and get Tim David in, the 25 strike rate bonus there, and the 20 strike rate bonus for him. These top sort of 3 categories, he's pretty much always going to at least get a strike rate bonus if he hits the 20 run threshold for it. So as you can see here, I should have just done this last time when I was looking through the rules. And then you can see, for going back on Paddy Dooley that we were just previously talking about, a lot of his is, where is it? I mean, he's not going to get a maiden, but these dot balls here, you will see some guys can see maybe 1 or 2 extras a game, which does take away a little bit, but you get this dot ball bonus here that can mount up, and we saw Paddy Dooley average 8.4 points per game from dot balls. And then he gets huge economy rate bonuses because he'd go for, I mean, just looking back here at Paddy Dooley, we do go off it a little bit, but it was 4 and over was the 4 and over was the lowest one that you can get, the best economy rate. So he had a 4 to 5 here. He had a, what's that? That would have been a 6 to 7, I believe, or something. And it was like, I think 8 to 9 is 5. So this would have been a 7 to 8, would be this 10 run bonus or whatever for bowling 3+ overs. So you're really looking for that from Paddy Dooley. Nathan Ellis, very similar to Paddy Dooley. I would actually rather Nathan Ellis over Paddy Dooley because I think he's a better fielder in itself, getting more catches. I mean, looking at the stats here for 2022, 2023, you'll see if we scroll down a little bit, 70, so you can see 3 catches here and no runouts, but I'm surprised that that's actually like that. Let's look at this 2021. You can see 7 catches, so I think he is that was just an off year, to be honest with you. 5 and 1 there, and then the year before that, 7 catches. So I think he is primed to, that was an off season where he only had 3 catches. Economy rate bonus, very similar to Paddy Dooley, and that's one of his main forms of getting points. And you can see here, he played 12 games, an average very similar to Paddy Dooley in around that 8 points. I think that's around about the same exactly, pretty much 8.4. I think it's just like a 0.1, 0.02 or 3 ahead of Paddy Dooley in terms of dot balls per game. And you can see here the 18 wickets and a wicket bonus as well in 2 of the games. But then also he provides, 69 more runs with the bat, as well as getting a strike rate bonus. So I just think he is a lot more valuable than Paddy Dooley. I think Paddy Dooley just got there because he had a little bit less of a... Paddy Dooley was averaging a little bit more wickets-wise per game, so it just upped his average a little bit. Then we go to the next one, Riley Meredith, 141k. I think if he was in a double, he'd be a little bit more valuable just because of his sheer pace can just rock teams completely. 21 wickets last year, 120 dot ball bonus in, 12 games. So that is 10 per game, which is quite ridiculous. Obviously, he doesn't get the economy rate bonus just because a lot of the non-dot balls are boundary balls that he concedes, and not that useful in the fielding department or in the batting department. So he isn't as valuable as Nathan Ellis is. Next up, you've got Caleb Jewell, and I think he'd be a lot more valuable if it was a little bit lower priced. I just think that at 134k, you can get a lot of other guys, such as like even I would value the likes of Ashton Turner over Caleb Jewell, to be honest. And you can see below him, Matthew Wade is a lot more valuable in my opinion, even though he's cheaper. You got the likes of Philippi, you got the likes of McDermott, even further down the list. Even Matt Renshaw is more valuable in my opinion than Caleb Jewell. But he has started the domestic season pretty well. So I think there is some value there, but sadly it's annoying that they play their double so late. So he probably will be already evened out price-wise. So you're not really going to find that he's a cash generator. But he will be, if he's in good form come the double, he could be valuable in that late season surge. As you see here, he did have a good purple patch in this 7, 8, 9 last year. So you could look at that for him. Next up, Matty Wade. I think he is of value. Whoopsie, didn't mean to do that. But the only problem with him, as we've been discussing, as I've been actually figuring out, is Hobart don't play the double. So he probably will be one that you start to trade in later. As you just can't have 130k on the bench with Matthew Wade being there. So I think you've got to have like a Ben McDermott there, to be honest with you. And especially with I believe the England team that came out as well. So I forgot who, like you've got other players that play doubles that will most likely be there, such as like even a James Vince, I believe is around that same price that you can just put in for Matthew Wade instead, as Vince should be topping the order. For the Sixers, up there with Philippi as well, who are both like 100k basically, rather than a 130 Matthew Wade that plays once. I'd take a chance on Vince or Philippi, who play twice, who have both had 3 or 4 90s in the BBL across the years. Sam Hain, 116. I don't know if he was included in the England squad that got named recently. I'm going to quickly try and search it up on social media. England cricket. Let's see if they've named their squads. They've named their squad. I know that they've named their squads. I just need to actually find it. Let me do England cricket and just try and find their squad that they announced for their games against the likes of West Indies. I know that they announced that a couple of hours ago. So just trying to find that for you guys. That's the wrong. It's somewhere here. Let's see. Anywhere. Where is it? Nope, don't need that. England call-ups. Here we go. There we go. Now I got it. Here we go. So just trying to find if I don't think Sam Hain was in the squad. I know that Rian Ahmed was, and like I was saying with James Vince, wasn't announced in the squad. We are looking for Hain. Doesn't look like Hain was named in the ODI squad, and in the T20 squad, it doesn't look like he was named either. So Hain will be playing, and I'm guessing he probably has some Abu Dhabi or South African T20 commitments after in basically the final series or round 9. But by then, I'm pretty sure we might even get the Aussie boys back, or they might be exclusively for finals. Because of that Sydney test going probably, I think, is it the 4th or 5th to the 9th or 10th, somewhere around there. So we should get the Aussie boys back for potentially the last round, but it might just be finals. So you might just see almost a direct swap there. So that will be good. But I do think that Sam Hain just isn't of value, just down to the fact that they don't play, like pretty much I've said, all these guys. You basically shouldn't be starting anyone that is over 100k, I don't think, for Hobart. You can basically simplify that down to. But you could see him late in the season, round 7 and 8, like I've been saying pretty much, if he does pick up some form. Hatzaglou, I don't rate anymore. I just don't think he's that valuable with the bat. Did he play last year? What did he get? 316 at an average of, where is he? 35, not that valuable, I don't think. I think teams are starting to figure him out and just play him as a pace bowler, to be honest, a slow pacer. Chris Jordan, very, very valuable in the field. Don't think his batting will be exclusively used as much as it is in the UK, where he bats 1 or 2 positions higher. So I don't think he'll be as useful, but he does have a 34 break even, which is just a wicket and a catch basically away. So he could be he could generate cash very quickly, but I don't think he will be that useful. And I don't know if he was named. Was he named not named in that squad? I don't think. Wait. Not named in that squad, and Jordan. and I don't think he was named in the other squad either. No, he was not. Luckily, the English people do it by alphabetical order, making it a little bit easier to search. So he's not included in any of their internationals, so he'll be there round 1, but he has to jet off early, I believe, for the Abu Dhabi one, or it could be the South African one. Same thing, basically. They're like 2 days apart, those ones. So he'll be away for the last round or so, but really is negligible. Corey Anderson, another good value, but I don't know if he will be necessarily bowling or just be used as a out and out batsman. He might have to bowl an over or two like they used last year, I believe. Hobart had Jimmy Neesham. I think he could play a very similar role. 105k, don't value him at 105k, to be honest. Mac Wright, 94k, could you stash him on your bench? I don't think so, just because of his positioning, to be honest, but he has started the domestic season all right. I just think here you see only 1 game last year. If he hadn't played that game last year, he would have been, he averaged 76, he probably would have been, he would have been min price, to be honest. He would have been min price. Here we go, just looking here. Yeah, he would have been absolutely min price for this year if he hadn't started last year. So that would have put him at a really good price point, I think. You would have been a lot more valuable than Darcy Shaw, honestly, at 60 odd K. So you probably would have jumped on him if he didn't have that 50 odd in the last game of the year last year. McDermott, definitely a value at 88k. He just has shown before that he can do it. If we look at his, season stats, 2021, 73, 2020, 52, 2019, 31 there, 2018, 41, and you see in that he averaged 28 last year. He'll definitely do more than that. He could be 20 points upside here. So having him on the bench and just gaining cash out of him, you might get an out-and-out best batter of the tournament for basically a basement price. And that's sort of the thinking behind that. I think we had Finch do the similar thing a couple years ago at 60 odd K. I believe it was 2020 that happened. But yeah, so I do think that he is a value. Mitch Owen could play. I don't know if he necessarily will, but could be a little bit more value than the likes of a Billy Stanlake, as he actually was bowling all right. I believe Mitch Owen in the domestic scene, but we'll just see if he gets a start. I did like Billy Stanlake, his run in with the domestic scene at the moment. He seems doing all right down for... He's playing for Tassie, isn't he? I believe he's playing for Tassie at the moment, and yeah, seemed like he was going all right. Sam Hazlitt could actually be definitely an option. If we go down here, moved from Brisbane last year, it looks like, and it doesn't look like he's got any stats, even though I can tell you he was playing last year. So I'm surprised that they haven't. I don't think they've updated it, but if Sam Hazlitt is min price, min price for him, that could be really good. I mean, he averaged 26 last year, which is more than Mitchell Owen. Is that just his projected? What do they have his? Let's see here. Let's see if they've got his average last year stats or whatever. 20. Do you have your 2020 past seasons? Maybe let's look into this and then filter it by Hobart, since we're at the end of this. So let's just see average. Mitch Owens, McDermott, Paris. It might have to be... I might need to go into Brisbane past seasons to search up Hazlitt. Let's just see. Does it have Hazlitt? Doesn't seem like they've got him down here for anything. Let me sort by price, and then we'll see if it does have anything. Doesn't look like they've got anything for Hazlitt. Let's just do this, and this. Doesn't look like they've got anything for him, so I think that might be a mistake on their part, that they've got nothing for him. And just looking at here, actually now looking at it, Hamish McKenzie might actually be a go at that price point. As I've seen in his domestic performances, he looks all right. But Hobart, and do 2023-24, go back to Hobart. I don't believe there's anyone else really to talk about. I mean, we got down to Owen, Stanlake, and Hazlitt, the min prices. I'll probably pick one of Hazlitt or Stanlake just there to be there as as needed, just so that we can just get some cash gen out of them, as those guys at mid price should do all right. And then obviously you got Carlisle and Chowdhury there that shouldn't really be playing. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there of the Hobart Hurricanes season preview for the BBL. And yeah, that's, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be the Melbourne Renegades. We'll smash through the Stars as well, Perth, Sydney, both Sydney sides, and that'll be it for the previews. Now, hopefully, thinking about it, that'll be done on about the 18th or so, and then I'll have I'll probably only do this year a Swans draft preview, because that's the only team that I really have all the team new numbers for, etc., and stuff like that, and team sort of layout. Over the next year, I'll try and develop a spreadsheet for all of the other teams, so that in future years I can do it. I just didn't have time this year when I realized what I needed to really do to do a full mock draft. So I won't be doing a mock draft like the other content creators. I mean, obviously you'll hear my opinion, but I only really know up to about the top 20 what I believe it's going to go, and after that I don't really know. So that's why I'm not going to be doing a mock draft. You'll see me do basically a Sydney mock draft, but not an actual full AFL mock draft. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do that. But anyway, we've got as I said, the rest of the BBL content, then a Swans thing, and then probably after the draft you'll see me do a Swans draft recap, which will be basically knowing what I know. It's just basically reflecting on the two picks that will have to be taken, that aren't 100% known, basically. But other than that, it's pretty much going to be a straightforward review, that one. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.